up a check and join me today. Out in my workshop, I'm tinkering away. Wand above staring down on me. Wonder what my next project will be. Working on my Johnson, my Mercury Mark 10. Firing up my StarCraft to fish again. Grab your friends and your dog is too, to watch Tim's Workshop on my YouTube. Hey, welcome to Tim's Workshop. Back on the Johnson 1947 TD20. Hey, I hope you like the intro on that. I'm an old musician. I'm writing some more. And those songs will be on my Story Time with Tim, TJY. So check it out. I'm going to make a new float for the carburetor on this video. So I got some corks at Hobby Lobby. It should work. So we're going to take one out of the bag here. And it's same diameter, so that's perfect as far as that goes. So what we want to do is we want to cut this thing at the right length. Make some marks here. And there we go. Got it marked. Now, the reason I brought this out here is to put this in there and saw it. Being that this is tapered, we want something under here to keep it even. So what I did is I took that label that came with the corks, folded it up like this, which will get it up so it's even when I cut it. Alright, got that cut. So now what we're going to do is get this sanded down. So in order to do that, we're going to glue on a bolt. We're going to use a drill motor, put the bolt in there with the bolt glued onto this, put something on the trigger to get this thing spinning. We'll take some sandpaper and get this sanded down so it's even, the same diameter as this here. We want this down the same diameter. That way it's cylindrical, okay? Cylindrical. It's hard to say. So that's the next thing we're going to do. I got the cork, new float, glued to this bolt, and it's on there good. I don't think it's going to fall off. And what I used the seal all. This stuff is like super glue, but it's fuel resistant. So what we're going to do is we're going to hook up the drill and put it in here. We'll use a couple tie straps. So we'll put this in the barrel. Oh man, any bigger bolt and it wouldn't have fit. So we lucked out there. Okay, I think that's it. Now we'll use a sanding block. Just happen to have one on the sanding block already. The top up here is 110. Let's call it 110. So we want this down to 110. Right now it's at 130. So we got to get 20 hundredths off this end. All right, here we go. Now you're probably wondering how I'm going to get this off. We're going to saw it off. Woo! Let's make sure it goes in the carburetor. Oh yeah. No problem. just like the other one. And then we'll use the brush and the seal all. I'll turn the camera back on when I start doing that. Alrighty? Okay, so I got it all nice and cleaned up. Now we want to make sure we drill this straight through. So what we'll do is we'll use this as a drill guide, okay? So we'll put some tape on here. There we go. Got my electric drill. See if we can get through this. Got the right size drill. There we go. Right through the middle. Let's take this duct tape back off since we got a hole through it now. See how that's taking that shellac right off the cork? That's why you want to drill the hole before you shellac this. At least you know how to get the stuff off if you want. Duct tape. Let's drill this hole a little bigger through the center to push some of this super glue through it. Let's push some of this stuff through there until it starts coming through. There we go. It coming through. I think that's it. Now we want to put it somewhere where it won't stick. Guess we can try here. I think we better call it good. This stuff gels up pretty quick. We got to re-drill the hole through, but when we do, we'll just use the right size drill. And that should work just fine. I built a new cork to put in the carburetor. Re-drilled the hole after putting the sealant through the inside, and then re-drilled the hole. So it's ready for the pin. So we're going to start putting this carburetor back together. But first, I'm going to go through, do some things that need to be done on this. There's stuff in here that shouldn't be in here, or a part that shouldn't be in here. So we're going to dig it out first. This all needs to be cleaned. Get you up here closer so you can see what I'm talking about. So the float pin, this part of it here is not clean enough. And the edge of it up here needs to be really smooth, because when it goes into the cap, it's got to be smooth and it can't hang up at all. It's got to be free floating in there, okay? So we're going to get this stuff re-cleaned up. I already cleaned it on a prior video, but then when I was watching the video, I realized I put a part in here that I shouldn't have. So we're going to dig that out as soon as I find my pick here. I got it out by using this. There we go. Now I got to get this thing out of here. There we go. So yes, this goes in there. That needs to be cleaned out. This goes in there. This is the bushing. Okay. This part does not go on the bottom of this like I thought. It doesn't. No. So we'll get this stuff cleaned up, then put the gasket back on. Take these screws back out. Just hit it with carb cleaner and make sure all this stuff is still clean before we put it back together. There's still gunk down inside here. Alright, so we're going to get it cleaned, then we'll put it together. Okay, I got this all together. I got fuel in here and it's not going through. The float is up, all the way up, and it's not leaking. So that's good. But I had to take the top off to verify it because it was leaking when I had the top on. So that means there's something going on with that plunger. So I got the lid back on, got it all tightened up, checked the float, checked the hole. Noticed something was different. I still didn't have this primer. I didn't have that right yet, so this time I think I got it together good. So let's see. We'll put some fuel in it and see if it holds fuel. So far so good. It's holding up here. Pick it up carefully. It's dry. We're good. I didn't have that primer in there right. I finally figured it out. The cap goes on the primer, okay, down to those pins. Then the washer goes on top of the cap, okay, and it goes in the gap of the gasket, and it fits exactly the right thickness of the gasket. So that was a mistake there. So you got your primer, you got your cap that goes on. Put your washer on top of the cap, then put your primer inside the cap, okay, and then the spring goes below the cap and goes in. Hopefully you understand that. It's not really clear on the directions on the on my notes there, my thing I printed off. So now it's holding fuel, it's not leaking. So we're good. Yay! So the carburetor's fixed.